Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's time for another round of La Liga predictions and we're heading into game week 5 of the 2025-26 season. I've got my predictions ready, and after I go through all of them, I'll reveal what you guys predicted in the community polls, and trust me, some of your picks are very bold. Let's get into it. We're kicking things off with Real Betis versus Real Sociedad, and I'm going for a 2-1 win for Betis. Here's why. Betis have had a mixed start to the season, 1 win, 3 draws and 1 loss, but they've shown resilience, especially in their last match where they came back from 2-0 down to draw 2-2 with Levante. Manuel Pellegrini's side are still finding their rhythm, but with players like Giovanni Lo Celso returning to the starting 11 and Cucho Hernandez leading the line, they've got enough firepower to trouble any defence. Real Sociedad, on the other hand, are still winless after 4 games and sit 17th in the table. They've struggled defensively and have already lost to both Real Oviedo and Real Madrid. That said, Mikel Oyarzabal remains a threat. He scored 6 career goals against Betis. Historically, this fixture is tight. Sociedad edged the head-to-head with 46 wins to Betis' 41, but Betis won this fixture 3-0 last season, and I think they'll edge it again. Next up, it's Girona versus Levante, and I'm backing a 2-1 win for Girona. This is a clash between two sides desperate for their first win of the season. Girona are bottom of the table, having conceded a league-high 11 goals in just 4 games, but they've shown signs of life. They were minutes away from beating Celta Vigo last week before conceding a stoppage-time penalty. Levante, newly promoted, have also had a rough start. They've blown leads against both Barcelona and Betis, and their defence has been leaky too. Only Girona have conceded more, but they've looked dangerous going forward, especially with Ivan Romero and Carl Ettet, a young forming a promising partnership. Girona have never beaten Levante at home in La Liga, but I think this is the week they break that streak, with Vladislav Vanat leading the line and Azzedine Ouiani pulling strings in midfield. I'm backing them to finally get 3 points. Now on to Real Madrid versus Espanyol, and I'm going with a 3-0 win for Madrid. Madrid are flying under Xabi Alonso, 4 wins from 4 in La Liga and a midweek Champions League win over Marseille. Kylian Mbappe has been electric with 6 goals in 5 games, and Jude Bellingham is back from injury. Even with injuries to Trent Alexander-Arnold and Antonio Rudiger, they've got depth and momentum. Espanyol have had a surprisingly strong start, 10 points from 4 games, including wins over Atletico and Mallorca, but they haven't won at Bernabeu since 1996, and they'll be without Pere Miller, who's suspended after a red card last week. Madrid have won 117 of their 199 meetings with Espanyol, and I expect them to dominate again, with Vinicius Jr., Mbappe and Franco Mastantuono in attack. This could get ugly for the visitors. For this one, I'm going with a 1-0 win for Alavés. They've been quietly impressive this season, and I think they'll edge it. Alavés are sitting 7th in the table with 7 points from 4 games, a solid start for a team that finished 15th last season. They've already beaten Levante and pulled off a shock 1-0 win away at Athletic Bilbao last week, thanks to a Berenguer own goal. Their defence has been one of the best in the league so far, conceding just 3 goals. Sevilla, meanwhile, are still trying to find consistency. They've scored 7 goals but also conceded 7, and they've only managed 1 win, a 2-0 home victory over Girona. Their last match was a 2-2 draw with Elche, where they had to come from behind. Historically, Sevilla have the edge in the fixture with 20 wins in 42 meetings, but Alavés have won 3 of their last 4. At home, they've been tough to beat, and with Antonio Silva in goal, currently leading La Liga in saves, I think they'll keep it tight and sneak a win. I'm predicting a 2-0 win for Villarreal. They've got the quality and the home advantage, and I think they'll bounce back here. Villarreal started the season strong with wins over Oviedo and Girona, but they've stumbled recently. A 2-0 loss to Atletico Madrid and a narrow 1-0 defeat to Spurs in the Champions League. Still, they sit 6th in the table and have been dominant at home. Osasuna are 9th with 6 points, coming off a 2-0 win over Rayo Vallecano. They've been inconsistent, losing to Real Madrid and Espanyol, but beating Valencia and Rayo. Their away form is shaky, and they haven't beaten Villarreal since March 2022. Villarreal have won 22 of their 50 meetings with Osasuna and are unbeaten in their last 6 against them. The last time they met at this ground, Villarreal won 4-2, with Tojan Buchanan and Alex Biana in form, and Jared Moreno possibly returning. I think they'll control this one. This one's a bit tighter, but I'm going with a 2-1 win for Athletic Bilbao. They've looked more consistent, and Valencia are coming off a heavy loss. Valencia are 15th in the table with just 4 points. They were thrashed 6-0 by Barcelona last weekend, and that kind of result can really shake a team's confidence. Before that, they had a solid 3-0 win over Getafe, but they've been up and down all season. Athletic Bilbao, on the other hand, are 5th with 9 points. They started the season with 3 straight wins, including victories over Sevilla and Betis, but have since lost to Alavés and Arsenal in the Champions League. Still, they've looked more balanced overall. Historically, this is a close rivalry. Valencia have 75 wins to Bilbao's 73 in 197 meetings, but Bilbao have won 5 of the last 7, including both league matches last season, 1-0 each time. With Inaki Williams and Owen Sanchez leading the line and Unai Simon in goal, I think they'll edge it again. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Rayo Vallecano here. They've been inconsistent, but I think they'll bounce back at home. Rayo started the season with a strong 3-1 win over Girona, but have since stumbled, losing to Athletic Bilbao and Osasuna and drawing 1-1 with Barcelona. They've shown flashes of quality, especially from Isi Palazon and Alvaro Garcia, but they need to be more clinical in front of goal. Celta Vigo are still winless after 5 games, 4 draws and 1 loss, and they've struggled to convert chances. They've drawn with Mallorca, Villarreal, Betis and Girona, but haven't looked convincing in any of them. Iago Aspas is still their talisman, but he's yet to score this season. Rayo did the double over Celta last season, winning both games 2-1, and they've won 5 of the last 6 meetings. With home advantage and Celta's lack of cutting edge, I'm backing Rayo to edge it again. I'm predicting a 2-1 win for Atletico Madrid. They've been shaky, but I think they'll get the job done. Mallorca are 19th in the table with just 1 point from 4 games. They've lost to Barcelona, Real Madrid and Espanyol, and only managed a draw with Celta Vigo. Their defence has been shaky, conceding 9 goals, and they've struggled to control games. Atletico haven't been much better. They're 11th with 5 points, but they did beat Villarreal 2-0 last weekend and were unlucky to lose to Liverpool midweek in the Champions League. Antoine Griezmann and Giacomo Raspadori have looked sharp, and Marcus Llorente has been their standout performer. Atleti have won the last 5 meetings between these two sides, and even though Mallorca have a decent home record historically, I think Simeone's side will have too much quality. I'm going for a 1-0 win for Elche. They've been solid since coming up, and I think they'll edge this one. Elche are unbeaten in 4 games, 2 draws and a win over Levante, and they've looked well organised under Eder Sarabia. Rafa Mir has been in great form with 3 goals already, and their midfield has been compact and disciplined. Real Oviedo, meanwhile, are 16th with just 1 win, a 1-0 upset over Real Sociedad. They've lost to Villarreal, Real Madrid and Getafe, and they'll be without Federico Vinaz, who's suspended. Elche beat Oviedo 4-0 in this fixture last season in the Segunda, and while I don't expect a repeat of that scoreline, I do think they'll have enough to take all 3 points. And finally, I'm going with a 3-0 win for Barcelona. They're in great form and should be too strong. Barcelona are 2nd in the table with 10 points and are coming off a 6-0 demolition of Valencia and a Champions League win over Newcastle. Marcus Rashford scored twice midweek, and Rafinha, Lewandowski and Fermin Lopez have all been in top form. Getafe have also started well, 3 wins from 4, but they've never beaten Barcelona away from home. They've only scored 4 goals this season, and I don't think they'll have enough to trouble Barca's backline. Even though this match is being played at the Johan Cruyff Stadium due to Camp Nou renovations, Barcelona have made it a fortress. I expect them to dominate possession and create plenty of chances. Alright, now that I've gone through all my predictions, let's take a look at what you guys predicted in the community polls. Some of these are in line with mine, but others not so much. Massive support for Betis here. 88% of you are backing them to win, and no one's gone for Sociedad. That's a strong vote of confidence in Pellegrini's side. Okay, this one is wild. None of you back Girona. 100% for Levante. That's a huge split with from my prediction. Let's see who gets this one right. No surprises here. Full confidence in Madrid. I think we're all expecting a comfortable win. Another clean sweep. You guys are fully behind Alavés. Sevilla really need to prove people wrong this week. Same again. Full support for Villarreal. Let's hope they bounce back strong at home. Total agreement here. All of you went for Bilbao just like me. Valencia have a lot to prove after that 6-0 loss. Another 100% vote. You guys are back in Rayo all the way. Celta's lack of goals is clearly a concern. Full confidence in Atleti. No one's given Mallorca a chance. Let's see if Simeone's side can deliver. Another clean sweep. Elche to win. You guys are clearly impressed with their start to the season. And finally, no surprises. 100% of you are back in Barca. Let's see if they can keep up their dominant form. So that's it for my La Liga Game Week 5 predictions and yours too. Let me know in the comments which predictions you agree with and which ones you think I've got completely wrong. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon with my Premier League Game Week 5 predictions.